If you're looking for samples for your looper, you don't want to beatbox, but you don't want to use the rhythm section, and you want something very specific, then the default is to go online and start searching for sample packs. You download them to your computer, and then you can transfer them to your looper. Splice is a service that has been the industry standard for years. Everyone uses it, and that's actually exactly the problem. Everyone's using the same sounds. So if you want some really fresh samples that are less saturated from top producers, and of course are really high quality, then actually you need to look at LANDR Studio. Now Splice and LANDR actually have different pricings, but if you go for LANDR Studio Pro, you're not just getting samples, you're getting mastering, you're getting distribution, and you get plugins as well. But today we're going to have a look at the sample section of LANDR Studio. I'm going to dive in and show you around. We're going to pick some samples, download them to the computer so we can put them on our looper. Now this video is sponsored by LANDR, and for those who are interested in not just mastering but distribution, as well as samples and plugins and more, then have a look at LANDR Studio. There's a link in the description box where I can save you money off your LANDR Studio subscription, and I actually picked LANDR Studio because of their distribution side as well as their well-known mastering, but actually you've got all these extra elements inside, as it's not just one service like collecting sounds or mastering or distribution. It's actually about a workflow of finishing and releasing your music. Thank you very much to LANDR for sponsoring this video. Let's have a look at LANDR Studio's sample system. It's actually really easy. Now before you go into this, most people look at the pricing option first. I know I do, because you're looking at the cost. So if I go to Splice and I want to actually use their Sounds Plus option, which is their lowest option, it's $12.99 a month. You get 100 credits a month. So you get 100 pieces of samples a month. That's a lot. But they're actually doing a trial offer for their creator one, which is 99 cents for 1 month, and then $20, $19.99 a month. After that, you get 200 credits. You can filter for undiscovered sounds and rare finds, beatmaker machine plugin, and an Astra synth plugin. That doesn't sound too bad at all. However, if you compare the Sounds Plus one, the $12.99, you get 100 credits. So that's 1,200 credits a year. When you go to LANDR, you've got that here just for $5.99 a month. So 1,200 credits a year, 100 a month. And then you've also got free sample plugins and then weekly pack giveaways as well. And they also give you unlimited access to Chromatic. Chromatic is actually a loop-based instrument. However, if you're looking at distribution and mastering as well, you'd go straight to Studio because it's $8.25 a month, still cheaper than just the sample pack, and you're getting everything in Sample Pro plus unlimited MP3 masters, unlimited distribution, and then you get £2,000 worth of plugins. Why would you not do that? There's one more you could do. Instead of going for Studio Essentials, you can go for Studio Pro, which I think is the best option. It's $15.99 a month, billed annually at $191.88, and that's in pounds, by the way. So that's obviously more than the Sounds Plus, but it's less than Creator, and you're getting unlimited WAV and HD masters. You get their Pro mastering plugin. You get 2,400 samples a year, £2,000 worth of plugins, and you can see them all there. You've got LANDR Mastering Pro, Compressor, Synth, Guitar, Effect Suite, Stems, Sampler, Vocal Plugin, Repitch, Vocal Line 6, all these different ones. And then there's other ones from different partners as well. As I say, there's a link in the description box if you want to go and get them. But just on that alone, LANDR has already won. And then I'm going to show you the sample pack system, which is really cool. Okay, so when you log in, you can actually see it says get started with your plan and says good morning, John Paul. But I've actually logged in because I've moved all my stuff over from DistroKid and CD Baby over now to LANDR. So all my releases are here. So I've got my distribution, I've got my mastering, you've got your plugins, and we've got samples. There's over 3 million curated royalty-free samples that you can use to help build out your track, or for us, for loop artists, then you could use it for loops. Now, the main one for me really for looping would be drum kits. Some loopers come with drums, and that's fine, but then sometimes on the cheaper loopers, the drum kits don't sound that great. So maybe you want a sample instead to add in so you've got a decent sounding kit. So let's have a look at browsing the samples. Now, first of all, this is all done on a web browser, but they also do have an app that you can use and you can download it as well, both on PC and Mac. They even have an app on your phone. When you land here, you've got like a bit of a For You section, so it shows you what's hot, what's coming out. You can see how many credits you've got left. So you've got For You, you've got Search, you've got Collections, and then you've got Tools. But let's just go to Search. Now, what I'm going to do is I need a drum sample for my looper. So I can actually just straight away here, I don't even have to type it, I can just click drums. Straight away, the samples change. I've only got 1.1 million to search through. There's loads of drums, loads of different things. What I want is I want rock. We've now got 50k. And then I want it as a loop. I don't want one shots. 47k, and then I'm going to change the BPM. So I want the BPM to be between 100 and let's go with 120. See it changed already? Let's go 125. Okay, so we're now down to 15,000 drum loops. So what I can now do is I can just sample these and just have a listen. Now you're hearing it through the speaker on the microphone, but you can hear them there. Now, I actually downloaded that one before, and next to each one, you can see what it is, what the BPM is. It tells you here anyway, and then you've got type, whether it's a loop or a one-shot. You've got the timing, how many seconds it is, and then next door to each one, I'm just going to sort of re-highlight this one again. You can see here, you've got add to creator, you've got add to my collection, favorite it, or download it. Now, I've actually already downloaded this one, but what's the difference between add to my collection and add to creator? If I add to creator, what creator does is it's kind of like an onboard looper. So maybe I've got this kick and snare, that's great. Cool, I need to add a hi-hat to that. So let's actually go hi-hats as well. So let's have a listen, and this is 105 BPM. So let's just pick something. No, that's too heavy. Innocent Man hi-hat, what's that? Yeah, that's quite cool. So let's add that to creator. And then you can see there it's added in. So now what you can do is you can play them together. You don't even have to boot up your digital audio workstation or throw it into the loop and go, does that work? Does that not work? So if I now go play, there we go. There's my beats. Now you can have a total of 8 samples all playing together. So you could have a whole song if you really wanted to. We're just focusing on drums today. Now I've got these two together, and the cool thing is I can then put them into my digital audio workstation if I wanted to, and then export it out again. So I've got it all together. However, on this web browser, without doing anything, you can see you've got download. We can download a mix of this already. So I can build something here and go, that sounds cool, and then download the full track as a mix. Or what I could do is I could download the individual samples. Now, I might want to have the hi-hat on one loop and the kick and snare on another loop, so I separate them out. But let's go download full track. So if I download full track, it's going 2 samples are added to the download, and it's made a mix for me. So now I've got full track 105, there it is. So if I hit it now, and there it is. It's played it. Really, really cool. The alternative is, of course, I can just grab the drum loop. So I've got the individual drum loop here. And I really like this. I like this creator idea of being able to throw samples together really, really quickly. And you're throwing loops together like you would create loops at home with your looper. Go, does this harmony work with this melody? So we can now remove these and say, that's fine. We're about to delete them from the creator. You sure? Yes. Because I've downloaded them and it's taken 2 credits to do that, I can now go to my downloads. Now within my downloads, I've got a couple of things I've downloaded. And then you've also still got the search within your downloads. So if I go drums and then I go rock, there they are. There's the 2 that I did. No problem at all. And there's also some sample packs that you can get completely for free and they don't cost you any credits at all. So in the collections, you'll actually see there's free ones right here. And you can just grab the free ones and download them. No problem at all. There's vocal packs, there's kicks, there's pianos, there's all kinds. So we've kind of touched on the tools bit a little bit, but in tools, you now know what creator is. It throws the samples in the web browser and beat matches them so you can hear them together, which is cool. You've also got key and BPM finder. So straight away, we can actually drop a file in and it'll actually analyze the key and the BPM and find samples that are around that key. Then what you've got is you've got 3 plugins. Plugins you've got for the samples is you've got LANDR samples. So you can actually have a standalone plugin, which is kind of this library. So you're not using a web browser, but it still uses that information and you can have that right into your DAW. Then you've got LANDR Chromatic. Now Chromatic is a plugin, and what you can do is you can actually grab a sample within Chromatic and start playing around with it, and you can create some really, really cool things. Now LANDR themselves have a video about every one of their plugins. I'll have a link in the description box about Chromatic. Go and have a look at that short video by LANDR and it kind of shows you how it works. It's really clever. And the last plugin is actually LANDR Sampler, and that is a sample tool. So you can actually use this for throwing your sample directly in, and then it'll pitch it correctly and you can start playing around with that sample. You load it in, it shows you a piano, and you can start playing with that. Again, available for both Mac and Windows. So the 3 plugins are quite cool, but I really like Creator mainly for 2 reasons. One, you can start putting stuff together, figuring out if that works, if it sounds cool, and then Creator can then download a mixed version of it. Or you've still got the individual samples. The cool thing is it only costs you the credit of the sample. The mix bit doesn't cost you anything. It just does it, which is great. You don't have to sit there and mix it yourself. It does it in seconds. Now remember, you can get Samples Pro if you just need the samples, and you've got access to Chromatic as well as a couple of other bits, but I really would recommend going over to LANDR Studio. As I say, the best thing is LANDR Studio Pro. If you're looking at distribution, maybe a new distributor, or you're looking at the pricing of that, and you want mastering as well, then getting LANDR Studio Pro, you've already won, because you're getting the samples, you're getting the plugins, basically for free. At $15.99 a month, for me, it's a no-brainer. And you will find there are other companies who will distribute your music for cheaper initially. But when you start drilling into the pricing of all the additional things you can add on, it can become a little bit expensive. And this was my experience with DistroKid. I used DistroKid for years and started to notice people were moving from DistroKid to LANDR. I started to look at why, and this video right here explains why I moved.